What's up? This is Kaylee ASMR and welcome back or welcome to my channel if you are new here. In today's video I'm going to be showing you some recent books that I have received. I got quite a few of them as gifts from my parents for my birthday, and then I also got my first box of the Read Romance Repeat Romance monthly subscription box yesterday, and I was freaking geeking out over this. I was so happy. I was tracking this package like a mad woman, so I'm excited to talk about the books. And yeah, it's my birthday next weekend, so the books I got from my parents were gifts from a little book shopping spree they took me on, which is so sweet. So let's get right into it. So the first book I got is Real by Kennedy Ryan. This was in the subscription box. I've been seeing this book so much on BookTube and BookTok, so I'm so excited. I've heard it is so good, and I've actually never read a book by Kennedy Ryan, so I'm really excited to check her out. It says, one moment in the spotlight. For months I stood by, an understudy waiting in the wings, preparing for my time to shine. I never imagined he would watch the audience that night. Cannon Holt, famous film director, fascinating, talented, fine. Before I could catch my breath, everything changed. I went from backstage Broadway to center stage Hollywood, from being unknown to my name, Neva Saint, on everyone's lips. Cannon cast me in a star-studded Harlem Renaissance biopic, catapulting me into another stratosphere. But stars shine brightest in the dead of night. Forbidden attraction, scandal, and circumstances beyond my control jeopardized my dream. Could this one shot, the role of a lifetime, the love of a lifetime, cost me everything? Oh my god, my cat is planning a jump over here. You know, you see your cat and they're like preparing to freaking catapult themselves. Terrifying. But yes, I am really excited for Real. It kind of like foreshadows this in the, oh my god, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, Rory. I hope that wasn't that loud. I'll just cut out the noise if it is, but it might have been fine. She has somewhat soft steps. She's really just freaking hijacking this, isn't she? Okay, she's trying to knock over things. Okay. I was saying this book kind of foreshadows it a little bit, but it has MS representation. One of the characters develops MS, so I've heard this is like a really good representation of chronic illness and just like working through that with a partner and with yourself, and I'm excited to learn more and to read this amazing romance that I've heard so many good things about. So the next book that was in the subscription box was Uncharted by Adriana Anders. This is a romantic suspense. Oh my god. My cat is pissing me off. She decided to knock this over. That was that noise. Okay. She does. Rory, can you get out? Hello. Want to say hi? There she goes. Okay, so basically this book is about a girl who is a woman, a woman who is a pilot, and she is sent on a mission to rescue a man stranded in the remote Alaskan wilderness. But this man is one of America's most wanted, like on the FBI's most wanted list, and she ends up falling in love, I assume, because it's a romance, and I think that they try to like escape together. So I'm excited for this one. I haven't read a ton of romantic social change and like just like the 60s and like just like the American side of it, but you don't actually hear the narratives of people living in Vietnam and how it affected them and their families for generations to come. So I'm really excited for this one. Again, the mountains sing, and I love me a multi-generational family saga, like seeing like the grandparents and then the parents and then the kids and their kids and like their stories. Like I'm a sucker for it. So very excited. And this book I got from my parents. Okay, and the next book I got is called The Tourist Attraction by Sarah Morgenthaler. Sarah Morgenthaler. So this is a book set in the Alaskan wilderness as well. You see a theme a little bit. So it's about a guy who runs a diner called the Tourist Trap in Alaska, and he swears like he would never like fall for a tourist. He like hates tourists and just like wants to keep Alaska, you know, that kind of vibe. But he ends up meeting this girl who's like super like sunshiny and like just so excited to like be crossing it off her bucket list to go to Alaska and like wants to do all the tourist things. And he meets her and ends up falling for her, it looks like. So it's very like grumpy sunshine trope, which is one of my favorites, and set in the Alaskan wilderness, which we love. And I guess it's like it's a rom-com, so a lot of like funny parts, which I like a lot. So I'm excited for this one. The Tourist Attraction. It's also a series with 3 books, so cool. Okay. Next I have The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. This is a thriller, suspense, mystery, horror vibe, you know the vibe. I wanted to get some thriller books for the fall, just spooky vibes coming up. This is just like what I'm craving to read. So it's basically about a girl whose aunt gets a job at the Sundown Motel in the 1980s, and she disappears from work one night, and her whole family like never knows what happened to her. So the niece, like the main protagonist of the book, now in 2017, she goes back to the motel to try to figure out what happened, and I think it gets pretty scary, and I'm so here for it. It says an engrossing mystery with a dense supernatural thriller. Oh, right. St. James melds an engrossing mystery with a dense supernatural thriller. Yeah, so something hasn't been quite right at the roadside Sundown Motel for a very long time, and Carly Kirk is about to find out why. So, very excited. Sundown Motel. Have any of you guys seen that movie, like Vacancy or No Vacancy? It's this horror movie from the early 2000s set in a motel. I remember that was one of the first horror movies I watched, and now like motels freak me out so much. Like I just always think of that movie, and like people were like watching you like through the TV, and then there was like the grates that connected all the motels, like they had to escape through there, and there was like a murderer in them. It was spooky. So I just feel like this will scare me a lot, which is what I want. I want to be scared. Okay, and the last book I got is another thriller called The Deep by Alma Katsu. This is a Titanic retelling with a spooky twist. So it's basically like the story of the Titanic drowning, you know the one. But in this version, there are supernatural forces at play, like sea witches and like seances and like stuff like that. So I think it's like set in like years later, where one of the survivors of the Titanic sinking is working as a nurse on the 6th